Old man winter's coming early this year, so we've got to get prepared on the homestead. Okay, it is the first full weekend of September, just the start of it, and it's going to be in the 80s today and maybe up to 90 tomorrow. And then Monday night, Labor Day, we're supposed to get 8 inches of snow. So Old Man Winter is coming with a vengeance very early this year. If it does end up snowing, that will mean we've had 92 days between the last snow of last year's winter on June 9th until September 8th this year. It has a really short growing season. And so we've got still a bunch of things in the garden, and we've got to get them prepped and protected as much as possible for this upcoming snowstorm. So we're going to be scrambling this weekend to get as much done as possible to protect what is still in the garden. All right, so one of the things that Mama Bear and I have been talking about for a while is trying to make a hoop greenhouse across 2 of our raised beds. And so we're going to try to get that at least started this weekend to protect the plants that are still in these 2 beds. We've got some squash, which will do okay as long as we don't get a ton of snow, but it will kill off the leaves, so if we can keep the snow off of those, it'll be better. Over here we have some cauliflower and some Brussels sprouts that are not ready yet. They need a little bit more time, and so hopefully if we can get this done, at least enough to keep the snow off, we'll be able to give these plants a few more weeks before the real snows come and the cold and kill them off permanently. So what we're going to do is we've bought what's called a cattle panel and a hog panel. It's a very thick gauge wire fencing panel. It's 16 feet long, and we're basically going to just put it from one side of one bed to the other side of the other to create a big hoop. We'll connect the 3 panels together. We're going to do 2 cattle panels and 1 hog panel, and that should be just about the length of our bed. And then we will come back and put some supports on there to support the center of the hoop. And eventually we were going to put 2 ends on there so we can completely enclose it and have a greenhouse over the winter. We'll see if we can actually get that done. If it's going to snow this early and this much all year, we're going to have a problem getting some of our stuff done that we wanted to get done. So that's what we're going to work on right now, is getting the cattle panel and the hog panel in. All right, so we got the cattle panels and the hog panel installed. Gonna have to get some 2x4s to brace the peak and to support it, because if we do get a bunch of snow, it's going to weigh that down. If we don't get anything else done other than support that and get a tarp over this, that'll at least keep the snow off for the most part. Ideally though, we would like to get some clear plastic sheeting over this, get it secured so we can actually get started on the greenhouse. There's a whole bunch to do this weekend before the snows hit, so we got to prioritize what we can and can't do. So another project that we want to get done before the snow hits is building another set of cold frames for one of our raised beds that has a warmer crops in it, so cucumbers and peppers. We had already planned on doing this even before we knew about the snow coming, but with the snow coming on Tuesday, this is now a major priority. We've got to get it done this weekend, and so that's what we're going to be focusing on for today. All right, so we've got all 3 cold frames done. We did these a little differently than the last ones, and so I wanted to explain that. The bottom layer is still 2x4 or 2x4s and 2x6s, but then the upper layer is 2x on the back and 2x on the front, but the sides and the brace in the middle are 1x decking that I had, and they're not complete. We're actually going to come in and close this off with some outside siding just on this end and the far end. And we did this to try to save a little bit of weight because we found the other ones to be quite heavy. And so just trying to get a little bit of the weight out. I think it's going to work fine. So let's get the plastic, the corrugated plastic on the top. Okay, so we got the clear corrugated plastic on top. So as far as the snow goes, these are going to be safe. We'll try to get the sides on before Tuesday just to be able to keep some heat in there, but at least this will keep the snow off. Okay, so the back end of the hoops are too far down. I keep hitting my head on it. And so we've built these frames on either side to try to raise it up about 18 inches. These are 2-foot high frames on either side, but we're going to be overlapping the bottoms of the hoops, the cattle panels, by 6 inches. So it's only going to raise it up 18 inches. But that should be enough so that we can easily get in and out on both sides and don't have to worry about hitting our heads. I've got the frames are 2x4. They go the length of the bed on each side. And I've got some braces on them right now so that we can get the hoops up and attached. And then I'm going to be building some framing on the sides to keep the frames that I just put in on the very sides from wanting to bow out. So I'm going to need to get the rest of the family out here to help with that. Come talk to the camera. Okay, thanks to the family, we were able to get the cattle panels up and attached to the frames. They're nice and sturdy. So now we're going to get the framing on the ends so that it doesn't want to move in the wind and in the shear load. and then we should be ready to get the plastic on. And we're making good time so far. Okay, so this near side, or this near end is done. We'll do the other end, and then we can release the clamps on the brace. And if we need to, we are good enough to be able to put the plastic on once that's done. Okay, so we are done. We've got both ends braced, we got the sides in, the hoops, the cattle panels are attached, and we've got some 12-foot long pieces running end to end to support it on the top. And so we are ready to run the plastic. It's getting to be dinner time now, so we'll either do it after dinner, but most likely we'll be doing it on Monday before the snows hit. So we'll talk to you then.